right, welcome in. My name is Nick. I am with CNF Cruise Show, Cruising Family. We are a channel all about cruising, family life, and everything else that we kind of get into. So welcome. Thanks for joining us. Today I'm going to talk to you about the features of interior ocean view, balcony room, and a suite cabin. To start off, we'll look at the interior. Now, an interior cabin is just what it says. It's an interior space cabin, generally not facing outward but inward on in the ship. Typically, the room can seat between 2 and 6 guests, depending on what ship you're on. We have stayed in interior cabin with 5 guests before, and typically those cabins are going to have a private restroom, storage areas, some type of mini fridge seating area, and then you're going to have probably uppers and then also bottom. Some interiors will have couches, some will not. We've stayed in both interiors that have space to have a couch, and ones that have only just had that desk chair at the desk. Some positives about booking an interior cabin. Typically, they're going to be the most economically priced cabins. So you're spending less up front to get on the itinerary and to get onto the cruise ship. Many of the amenities are available to everybody on a cruise ship, and only small parts of the ship or paid areas are not included. So having an economically priced cabin is definitely an advantage. Another advantage with booking a interior cabin is the amount of darkness you get when it's sleeping time. You don't have sun or light coming in from your window or from your balcony. Perhaps one of the biggest negatives, is the fact that you have no outside light. So for some people, having light is a positive. For some people, having light is a negative. I guess it depends on the eye of the beholder, but definitely not having any outside light or outside air can definitely be a negative. And then typically an interior cabin is going to be smaller than other size or other light cabins. So having less space means you're more cramped and closer together. So definitely a drawback for the interior cabin. Lots of times the interior cabins will be less choice locations, but you can get that with the other type of cabins as well, depending on the cruise ship. All right, so now moving to ocean view. We have stayed in ocean view cabins several times. They are much like an interior. They're going to have no outside air, but you will have some type of window that lets in some outside light. Having outside light can be a positive for your cruisers. Typically, compared to an interior cabin, ocean view cabin will have a bit more room, couple square feet more floor space. You're more likely to have, not necessarily guaranteed, but more likely to have like a couch or longer space that's not made up just for the bed. But typically the storage is going to be the same as the interior. The bathroom is probably going to be configured pretty much the same, unless you're going into unless you're going into like a deluxe type ocean view setting. In standard ocean view balcony cabin, you're going to have your bed, your couch, It's going to be the same storage size and bathroom size as most typical cabins on the cruise ship that you're on. They'll be pretty amenable to what you've had before. But the square footage is probably going to be just a little bit larger. We have cruised balcony cabins before. The most often times that we get a connecting cabin, it happens to be a balcony cabin, so we're also able to open up those dividers. If you're ever cruising with a second cabin near next door, you can talk with guest services or your steward to help you get those open, and you have a longer balcony. Most balconies are not very deep. You don't have a lot of maneuver room on them. But if you do have an extended balcony, then you definitely would have quite a bit of space out there with that divider open. Some of the positives, you're able to get outside air in. You're able to have light coming in from out, and then also deck space is just yours. So definitely a positive for a balcony cabin. A drawback for booking a balcony, maybe they're less economical. You're paying just a little bit more for the same amenities that most other cabin or sailing mates are going to have. Other passengers as well, including those that are in ocean view and interior cabins. So paying more for the experience than what other people are paying, which is definitely something to consider when looking at a balcony versus, say, an interior cabin. All right, moving to suites. We have booked a suite twice. Once only was the suite an actual suite. The other time was on, I want to say, the Imagination or Inspiration, and they originally didn't have the room. Basically, was a balcony room. It was not a suite. I complained, but the reality is it didn't have many of the amenities or things that you would consider for a suite. But the suite that I'm going to talk about is an Aft XL suite. If you're unfamiliar with the type of room, it has basically a living room that has a couch that folds out to a double bed. Two people could sleep on it. And then above was a pull-them down. So a third person was able to sleep out there. And then next door, same cabin, but in another room, is a king-size bed. It can be separated if you so choose. My wife and I didn't so choose. It had a huge walk-through shower bathroom combo. The one drawback there was just one bathroom, which was, I felt like it was a drawback when you consider there was some other space, I guess, in my opinion, that could have been used for it, but neither here nor there, I guess. But the shower was awesome. There are additional amenities to guests that book into a suite. Priority booking of like specialty restaurants, priority boarding. Also, this ship on the Carnival Jubilee, the Excel suites all had free room service, which is something. If you cruised 20 years ago, room service was free. It's not any longer. So that was a perk. We enjoyed that immensely. The room also had a huge wraparound balcony, a table that sat six, two large deck laying out chairs. How do you say that? And then there was a large circular chair, some other seating, and then also like a large tub that was at the end of the balcony there. So that suite was definitely a different experience than cruising in an interior. You could definitely say that an interior is positive of being economical, and the suite's negative of not being economical. Something to consider. And on most occurrences, I would say 100% I'm probably going to book a balcony or ocean view or interior over a suite room. But positives, like I just kind of listed off, there are lots of different extras. If you're on an Excel class ship, also you have access to Loft 19, which is extra deck space where not many people are up above that you're able to use. Definitely having extra deck space on a cruise ship with 7,000 people or whatever is a positive. So we didn't use it much, but definitely not. It definitely could be a positive for people that are looking to book a suite. So you're probably thinking, well, Nick, what should I pick? And I'm going to bring it back to you. If you're looking for something that's economical, go for the lower level rooms. If you're looking more for the experience and room and amenities, definitely the suite is the way to go. In Excel, getting on the Mardi Gras, the celebration, or the Jubilee, book into one of those Excel suites, and you're going to have loads of amenities. For a family of 5, I prefer one cabin over 2. It's hard sometimes to find a cabin that is not suite level on many of our newer ships. There are definitely cabins that are for five without, but maybe you're just looking for 2. But I would say make sure that you sit down and think about what's important to me. If having fresh air in your cabin is important, balcony or suite. If light and low cost is important to you, ocean view, or consider one of the many interior cabins that have like the porthole, something to get around. Especially we used to love on the Imagination Inspiration booking those interior cabins that had the portholes. They were awesome because you're paying the price of the interior, but you still get an ocean view experience. If you can find one, book it. If that's important to you. If you really need to be close to the pools, make sure that you book closer to the top of the ship. But there are lots of things that go into deciding what you should book. Okay, don't allow me to go one way or the other. If you still have questions about it, or you're like, well, I really need an answer, put that comment down below. I'll ask you a question or 2 or 3, and then I'll help you make that kind of decision. I really got to say thank you to everybody that got to this part of the video. I'm going to wrap it up here, but if you enjoyed what I had to say, think about giving me a thumbs up. If you're like, oh, I want to hear more about other stuff, consider subscribing to our channel. Share it out to your friends. I love giving information about cruises, because this is how I get ready for my cruises, is going on YouTube and hearing about other people's experiences. So, share the wealth, share the love. We have a lot more coming up on our CNF cruise show. We're going to be looking at our vlog series coming up, starting in just about a week. I'm going to be talking about how I do vlogging, like on a cruise ship. Like it's crazy when you think about, hey, he's videoing, he's editing, he's putting all these live things up on the screen, and he's posting it all while on a cruise ship. And then I also have some other videos planned into June, including how we got ready for our cruise. We'll do a rundown of our impressions of the Symphony of the Seas, and then probably a whole bunch more stuff coming into the summer. So thanks so much for watching. You guys have a super awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.